Well, welcome today as we are taking another step on what we call the way of wisdom, which is a study of the book of Proverbs. And we're doing it real simple. We're just keeping it real easy and simple. We're taking a couple of verses from the chapter that we're looking at in Proverbs and seeking to point some things out and then apply them to our life. We've seen in chapter 15, verse 1, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Verse 2 says, the tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pours out foolishness. So we've been talking a little bit in our last session on the words that come from our mouth should come from a spirit that is under control, and they can be wise words rather than words of anger that only produce more anger. Well, now we come to verse 3 of Proverbs chapter 15, and I want to talk to you about the eyes of the Lord. The eyes of the Lord. Now, I'm smiling because to myself, I've told myself this many times, and that is, Mark, you're not going to get away with anything. The Lord sees everything. Sometimes when we know we're about to do what is wrong, we convince ourselves that we're going to get away with it. And you never get away with it. Why? Because the Lord sees everything. And I think sometimes the fear of the Lord is just acknowledging that the Lord sees everything and reverencing Him and wanting to honor Him. Well, let's look at this verse about the eyes of the Lord. Verse 3 of Proverbs 15. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and on the good. Keeping watch on the evil and on the good. You know, God knows the evil that is being done against you, and He'll deal with it. He knows every detail of the evil that is being done against you. Now, in prayer, it might be good for you to pour out your heart to God and say, God, they're doing this to me, they're doing that to me, they're doing this to me. That's what David seems to have done in some of the Psalms, just poured out his heart to God. But God already knew. The Lord already sees the evil that is being done against you, or the evil that is being done in any situation. And so just trust that God can take care of that. And if you're the one who's propagating that evil or doing that evil, I caution you, you won't get away with it. The eyes of the Lord are in every place. But not only for evil, but for good. You don't have to brag about the good you've done. You don't have to put the good you have done on display. You don't have to do good deeds to be seen. As a matter of fact, Jesus commends His believers, His followers, if they do good things in secret. Matthew chapter 6, for example. Well, here's a closing thought. In 2 Chronicles 16:9, King Asa, earlier in his life, had relied on the Lord, and the Lord gave him a phenomenal military victory. But later on, he trusted in another nation rather than trusting in the Lord. And 2 Chronicles 16, chapter 16, verse 9, says, the eyes of the Lord go to and fro throughout the whole earth to show Himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to Him. Notice, God is looking for opportunities to demonstrate His strength if He sees your loyalty. So if you're loyal to the Lord, God can demonstrate His strength. He sees what you're going through. The eyes of the Lord are in every place. And the eyes of the Lord go to and fro throughout the whole land, looking for opportunities to show Himself strong on behalf of those who are loyal. So let's set our hearts today just to be loyal. I want to be a loyal follower of Jesus. And I'm not going to worry about all the evil. God sees it. And I don't need to worry about people understanding or recognizing or even God seeing the good that I've done. No, God sees it all. Trust Him with it all. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and on the good. So rejoice today and just do good as unto the Lord. Don't worry about whether it's recognized, acknowledged by men, or even appreciated. Just do what you do as unto the Lord. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, and keeping watch on the evil and on the good. God bless you today as you apply this passage to your life on the way of wisdom.
You are worthy of it all.